Hello, everyone. My name is Mati. I'm one of Svagito's organizer, and we are organizing Zen Counseling training in next June in Spain. So I would like to ask Svagito a few questions about this training. Hello, Svagito.
Thank you. Hello, Mati. Hello, everybody. Yeah, this course is one of my favorites, actually, because it is not technique oriented. It is more learning the space of a therapist and learning a bit what inner growth really means and how to help a client to grow into their inner being. Because normally people come to a session, clients think, and they have the idea that they need some fixing. And they come to therapy and then they think the therapist is fixing them. And some therapists have this idea. And actually, inner growth is not about fixing, it is more changing the dimension where you leave the mind and you come to a different space in yourself where problems are not really solved, but they start to dissolve. So this is what we're going to explore in this training, basically.
Yeah, I had that experience, but usually people ask me, or when they gave me feedback, they say that they cannot explain what is it about, what we do there, but it's like a before and an after. That is a common sentence in many people, no? So
Yeah, because it is in a way like when you grow spiritually or in consciousness, you cannot really explain what happened to you. You can only explain outer things. Inner things is a little difficult to put it into words. That is in generally like this. So it's also difficult to explain what actually meditation is. People can only explain a meditation technique. You sit down, you watch your breath, or you do Kundalini meditation. But this is not meditation. This is just the outer form of something. But the essential inner space that happens when you meditate, it's very difficult to put that into words because words are meant for outer objects. And maybe that's what people also find in this training, that it's difficult to explain because we're going to penetrate into the dimension of the soul and of the being. And we get some hints what it means, how to enter that space when you work with people, and how to recognize also in clients when they enter that space in themselves. And this is beyond any technique. We got to learn some techniques also, like Gestalt work. But basically, it is more a perception, a space, and how to help people to discover that space in a session. Because for me, this is what makes a session interesting. Otherwise, it is just a method, and methods, after a while, they become boring. If you know a method, after a while, yeah, you know what to do, and then it becomes repetitive. But when you work with the being and the soul, it is never repetitive because every person is unique. And yeah, like when you really understand what meditation is, it never can become boring.
yeah, that's right. No, in that sense, also, it's a very creative training. Also, it's like
Yeah,
we have an structure, but at the same time, it's quite.
that's right. Why? Because normally people want instructions what to do in a session, A, B, C, D, E. Now you do this, now you do that, now you do that. Of course, you can give some hints, but basically, when you're in touch with yourself and in your center, then there is no rules what to do. You follow your inner truth and impulse. And then sometimes you do things which is not something that you have learned, but something else. And for me, this is the most interesting part, actually. And it is also the most creative part, because only then there is creativity in a session.
Yes. Yes, and we do it together also, no? Because you usually invite people, no? You ask what you want to learn, what you want to experience, no? So we do it like kind of create something together. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, I will do demonstration sessions, and then people will practice with each other. So, of course, there is a certain, you know, progression in the training. First, we work with how to be centered, how to find that inner client. And then we work with certain issues also in the session. We learn certain skills as well. But this is not our focus.
Yeah.
And we learn about relationship as well. And we learn basically what is the essence of giving a session and receiving a session, and what really helps a person to grow spiritually.
Yes, and in the second part also the people they discover a lot about themselves, about the inner man and inner woman also, no, which is very, very helpful.
Yeah. In the part 2, we explore the male and female energy that we have inside. But basically, all the things we learn, you can apply to any life situation, not only to sessions, because it is something that happens whenever there's an interaction between two people. So all these principles that we learn, or this space that we learn, basically what is love really, what it means to be in yourself, when you're out of yourself, when you're in your mind, when you're in yourself, and what love means. We have to, explore that, and also drop all conditioned ideas that we have about love. And this is something, it is very valuable in any situation where you are interacting with another person, not only when you work as a therapist.
Many people feedbacks is around that, no, many things change in their lives, not only in their practice as a therapist, but in their lives, no, the way they relate to others.
Yeah, and it's true. It's sometimes not so easy to explain what actually happened to me, That's exactly it, It's not, you can say, okay, otherwise you can say, no, I had this problem, now this problem is solved. But it's not exactly like this.
No. It's like a progressive.
Yeah, something grows in you, and after a few years, you find what was a big problem for you some years ago, it is no more.
Is there anything that you would like to add about the the training that maybe I forgot?
Well, basically, we talked about that is the essential core. We also learn a few techniques as well, how to do Gestalt work, how to work, as you said already, with male and female energy, how to understand how relationships work, how to support a person to develop their, inner being and grow spiritually, and recognizing when you connected to yourself, when you're in your center, and when you leave your center. We learn how to, estimate what can happen in a session, because you have to treat different clients in a different way. And you can, clients, according to a client's consciousness, you have to treat them differently. So all these kind of things we will study in depth. So I will usually do a demonstration session every day, and then people get together and then they practice. Then we have guided meditation and other exercises in between. And then this is something people can apply to any kind of session they give to other people, or any kind of situation where they are working with another person.
It's true. We are all the time moving and doing exercises in couples, in groups.
Yeah. And it is a very nourishing space, basically, also, because we basically explore how to leave the mind behind, So then you get a lot of nourishment for your heart space and for your space of your being. Of course, this is not exactly a beginner group, so some people should have done some basic work on themselves already, or some training. But they can do an interview with you before they come. So part 1 will be in June now, in a beautiful space in Spain. And then part 2 we will have in November, where we work more with male and female energy. So I look forward. It's one of my favorite trainings, actually.
Mine also. Yes. Thank you for your Svagito. Thank you.
Thank you, Marty.